that is presented this year in the official section in the competition of the festival of the 71st edition of the film is Fingernails. In Spain, it's called Esto, doler, and it's a film directed by CHRISTOS NIKOU, who is here with us today in the press conference. As there's many of you, I'm going to open up the questions now, and please raise your hands. Thank you. Hi, good morning. Thank you very much for the film. I would like to know the issue. Well, the plot of the film is what it is, but could you reflect what that feeling of love? What is it when it's okay? It's the greatest thing in the world, and when it hurts and it's painful, it hurts so much and it's so painful. After some time, we fall in love again, and it hurts again. Thank you. Can you reflect on that?
Yes, hello, first of all. Thank you all for being here. And yes, to be honest, I don't know what is love. And I don't know if we know what is love. And we are all looking for that, but probably it's something that we don't know exactly what it is. I mean, love is the most elusive thing. It's something that you cannot put it even in your hand and analyze it. So it is something really instinctive. We need to feel it, and we are trying to feel it. And sometimes it is painful, as you said, and as we're trying to say with the film. But in general, what we're trying to say with the film is that love is something that we need to work for it. And to, in general, I mean, it is a feeling, it is something that we need. It's not something that we can prove only one time, but we need to work more on it. And we need to work on a daily basis. Is that too much? Do you want me to finish the whole reply, or?
It's perfect.
I'll start. I have two questions for you. The first has to do with apples. There is the idea of apples present also in this film. Should I ask, if it was a multiple choice, why you added apples also in this film? A, it's your favorite fruit. B, it was just your previous film and you wanted to mention it in a very distinct way. C, it's the production company that will present the film globally, Apple TV. Or should I ask that you just like apples? That's the first part of my question.
Thank you, Alexandre. Σε ευχαριστώ. Yes, I love apples. I love manzanas. That's how it's called, yes? Yes. I love apples in general. I love eating apples. It was the favorite fruit of my father. And that's why also we made the previous movie. It was about my father, and he used to eat 7 to 8 apples per day. And we just needed to have I love the connection, and I wanted also to tell the story about Adam and Eve and the apple at the beginning, so that's why we are having it. But it's not related, definitely. It was on the script before we sold it to Apple, believe me, so it's not related with the distribution company.
Quite brilliant what you did with the French songs, because everyone thinks that it has something more sophisticated and romantic, and let's face it, it has nothing more to do with that. And in Greece we say that the songs are telling some small truths about our lives. So, is there a song that tells a small truth about your life? And if you had the opportunity of turning a Greek song into French, just to make it more romantic and give it a different kind of idea to the audience about it, who would that be and why?
A Greek song? Oh, that's a good question. Oh my God. I don't know. I remember when we sold the movie last year in Cannes, and I was there every night that I was returning completely drunk from all these parties that I was going. I was hearing Μη το ρωτάς τον ουρανό. I don't know why. I was hearing it from Mary Law. I was hearing it all the time. I really don't know why. So maybe that's, for me, the romantic song that, yes, that means something. And in general, about a song in general, you mean, from worldwide? I think that I will go with Tom Waits and the song Can't Help Falling in Love. Thank you.
Otra pregunta aquí.
Another question here.
Hi, congratulations. Jill Pringle, writing for Australian magazines. I wonder if you could tell us what Kate Blanchett and Andrew Upton brought to the production specifically.
A lot of things. I mean, Kate is Kate, so it was really great working with them because it was 3 years ago when we met in Venice with Kate, and we decided that we would like to work together, because she wanted at the beginning to have a role in the film, but we didn't have exactly a part for her. Then she asked me if she can produce it, and what they both did for us is that they helped us creating the whole story. They were in the whole process of the film. They were like great producers. But also what I love about Kate, and if I can say something, is that even if she's not the most experienced producer, what I love on her is that she has an amazing instinct. And that's very, very special. She knows when she says something, I don't know how she's doing it, but she knows why she says it.
¿Hay alguna otra pregunta?
Any other questions?
Hola, buenas. Quería preguntar por la estética
The aesthetics of the film, which takes you back to the 1970s or 60s, why did you choose that period? And could you talk about the Greek cinema and Greek cinema that goes to Hollywood, that slowly but surely, there are more and more of them, and there are a series of directors that are in Hollywood. And what's the reason for that?
About the timeless approach of the film, because for me it's more timeless. It's not that we put it somewhere specifically. I mean, the last reference in the film is from Notting Hill, which is from 1998, I think. And because, yes, Hugh Grant is the only guy who knows what the fuck is love. We tried, to have that reference in the film. But in general, because we're trying to make a comment about technology and how technology has changed the way that we're approaching love in general. And it's completely different experience right now. Most of the people are using dating apps. They're using even their finger swapping right or left in order to find love, and also their nail in that case, and find the right partner. So in order to make a comment about technology, we try to create something timeless and have only one technological device in the film, which is the test machine, that everybody goes there in order to find replies about their personal experiences, about their personal life. So we wanted to make a comment about technology. That's why we decided to have completely absence of technology, as I feel that always is stronger in that way. And about Greek cinema that you asked me, I have no idea, to be honest. I don't know. It's not that... look, in general, in the United States, they're having a little bit the feeling that they're all behaving a little bit like Christopher Columbus. They want to discover America again. So when they're having the chance to find some directors from other countries, yes, it's for them the best. But I don't know. I don't know about Greek cinema and how Greek cinema can shine in Hollywood, or if we can do something like that. Definitely there is a lot of talent in Greece, and I hope that they will discover more directors and they will do more things abroad. But because it's really difficult to make movies in Greece.
Vale, bueno, primero de todo...
First of all, congratulations for the film. Congratulations for the film. I liked it very much. And secondly, I would like to ask you, it's a personal question perhaps, but to know, when you were writing this script, were you going through a good relationship or any broken relationship, or were you just thinking about good or bad memories, or that situation, sci-fi situation could have helped you? Or was that a critique, or all of that? How did you see that when you were writing the script and then directing it?
Trying to remember what I was doing during the writing of the script. I think that I was single at that time, but I don't know, maybe I was using dating apps all day. I was dating a different girl every day. No, I'm kidding. I think that I was single. And in general, the last years of my life, I'm trying to understand what is love. That's why we made this film. We made this film in order to try to question some things about love, about relationships, about recent relationships, and yes. But what was the second part of the question? Sorry, because I didn't...
Habías pensado...
Technology, I would use it or not. It's a criticism against the new technology.
Definitely, it's a criticism on the new technology. Definitely, we are trying to make a comment about this. I have never used, I don't know, I have a very old iPhone. I mean, even if I'm working with Apple, they didn't give me a new one. So I don't have a good relationship with technology. So in general, no, for sure. But then I don't know if I was thinking of one relationship specifically or for my experience in general when I was writing the script. I think that it was in general from my experiences before.
Sí, hola otra vez.
Hi again. I'm curious to know, what do you think about the title in Spanish? It could be, it means this is going to hurt. Okay, esto va a doler. I want to make a remark. I saw a film a moment ago, just around the corner in the K1 theater, but I imagine it happens, and every time when you see the film, that's it, when they relate to the nails, and when they pull the nails out, everyone feels, ooh, a horrible reaction. Everyone goes, ooh, gee, that's going to hurt. I can't bear it. What do you think about of that moment? Did you know that nails specifically were a part of the body that causes these types of reactions for the audience, for example? Did you know that?
Yes, I did a test before, so I realized that how it affects people around me. No, it's about the nail part. For sure, we wanted to create something that it makes equal the physical pain with the pain of love. So for sure, we wanted to create something like this, and we know that it creates some feelings and some emotions and some reactions to the audience, but also at the same time, love is something that most of the times it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. So we wanted to have this. Then about the title, I heard it here that they changed it. I didn't know. How is Fingernails in Spanish? It's not a nice title. I don't know. But I hope that they will have kept the original title. But yeah, this is gonna hurt. It's also almost the last line of the film, so it makes sense that they chose this title.
Hola, encantada.
Hi, pleased to be here. Logically, I liked your film. I think everyone. I'm Bego from Diario Vasco. It's a newspaper, a local newspaper. You've already talked about apples, but I would like the phrase upon paradise and changing the... Oh, when you talked about Adam and Eve and eating the apple, and when they ate in paradise, when they ate the apple, peace came along. Could you address that issue, if you feel like it, that is to say?
About why there was peace in paradise when they ate the apple? Oh.
Perdona, ¿acaso lo he interpretado mal?
Perhaps I've interpreted it wrong, but I think there's a moment when you talk about that they ate the apple in paradise. I think that the last line of that phrase is, and there was peace in paradise. Or perhaps I'm making a mistake and I dreamt it. I don't know.
No, at the end they're saying that there is peace in paradise because there were no animals to distract them. Because yes, they changed the story, and that's this part. I mean, in general, as we were trying to create the whole world of the film and how the humans, in general, the people are reacting in this world and how they're trying to find love again, even in the school, they're changing the story of Adam and Eve, and it doesn't have a negative result. But at the end, they are still staying there in paradise because there were no animals anymore, and they were just enjoying the apple, and that was it. So yes, that was the meaning behind from it.
Hola.
Hi. I'd like to ask you about the sense of humor in the film. It's quite obvious that that machine that does the tests is a toy, but why were you so explicit with that? Well, not very sophisticated, an unsophisticated machine, and these looks, and you said, oh, you've done it, and what was the result? What did you get? Was it positive or negative? And I thought that. I think it's a parody, and I'd like to talk about that part of the film, whether that's the way you are and you wanted to tell it with that sort of, in that way. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, but you're talking about only the test, or in general, all the tests, all the activities that they were doing?
Yes, all of them, yes.
In general, we try to find things that are stereotypical in a way about love. So we wanted to have that, everybody knows that French is the most erotic language. Everybody loves being with rain outside because they feel warmer inside. And in general, if you will see most of the couples, and right now that couples, and I'm seeing a lot of younger couples going to couple therapists the last years. And if you will see that they're doing all these things that they're trying to prove together in order to feel that they are maybe more connected, that maybe they are more close to each other. But I think that, yes, I think that we are just have to feel the moments and to feel the experience and not do all these things. But and we wanted to create something that was comedic, so that's why all these are a little bit more silly in a way.
Hi once again. The music selection, for example, apart from the songs and the French songs, the rest of the songs, for example, the first song that you hear is The Total Eclipse of the Heart. Is that deliberate that you hear that song? I imagine so, because of what it means and because of the plot of the film. Did you think about that from the outset, that you were going to use that song? And then the rest of the songs, how did you choose all of the music, basically?
I don't know. I like these songs. I mean, it's just songs that I love. I love synth pop 80s songs in general. And Total Eclipse of the Heart is a great song, even if some people believe that it's cheesy. It's a great song. So we wanted that for the beginning of the film. And in general, yes, we chose these songs because I love them. I hope that the audience also will connect. I don't know.
¿Hay alguna otra pregunta?
Are there any further questions?
Your movie is such a cinematic experience, and unfortunately, in a lot of countries, because of the distribution system that this specific network has, it won't be released in the movie theaters. How does it feel? And I would like also a comment about the situation. Some years ago, for example, the movie that won the Oscar for the best film of the year wasn't released in most of the countries cinematically.
To be honest, it was my only concern when we signed last year with Apple. But it's funny because we had offers from, when we went and presented the movie in Cannes, we had offers from other distributors. I will not say who they are because I cannot, but distributors that they have won Oscars the last years that also are doing mainly only theatrical releases. But the thing is that Apple was the only one who secured theatrical release worldwide. And it was the only contract that we had that was securing that we will be in theaters. And we will be in theaters. But the problem is that we will be, we agreed for 7 or 8 countries. We will be, in North America, in US, Canada, United Kingdom, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, and Greece. And we agreed only in these countries. I hope that until the theatrical release, that is on the 27th of October, we will add a few more. And for me, movies are made only for theaters and for cinema. I don't believe that movies should be seen first in a TV screen. I mean, that's why we're all fighting, and we're fighting only for movies that are... I mean, that's where we all loved cinema. That's how we all love what we're doing right now. So you're all people that you are watching so many movies every day. I'm also watching, I'm trying to watch 3 movies per day. And I love watching them in a theater and feel this magic feeling that when you are there. So I will fight for that even in the future. Even if we are right now with Apple. But it was the only way to make a theatrical release last year.
¿Hay alguna otra pregunta?
Any further questions? Congratulations for the film. I would like to ask you, as regards to the end of the film ending, which is quite positive because love can do everything, even if it's painful. Did you think at any time that the ending wasn't going to be like that, and you had another ending? And what was the story? Which way was the story going to go in that other ending, if there was another ending?
It will be in the extras on the DVD. No. It's we always had this ending in our mind. I always, I don't know, in the previous film and in this one, even if the endings are a little bit more open, we're always trying to create something that is, I mean, a little bit, I call it melancholic smile tone, but with an optimistic ending. And we try to give an optimistic ending in the film. And for me, it's not about what Jessie decides on that moment, if she decides that she's moving off her nails because she wants to be with him, or she wants to doesn't want to have them anymore, or if it's just a gesture of revolution or of love or whatever it is. But definitely she wants to feel something real, and she wants to feel something by herself and not that somebody else tells her what she has to do. So I hope that, yes, it gives this optimistic, at least a little bit, ending. And it was always this.
¿Hay alguna otra pregunta?
Any further questions? While you think of another question, I would like to ask you a question. And I think that in the last 2 decades, some of the sci-fi films that have transcended the idea of a sci-fi of low fidelity, very anchored to what is day-to-day, and there's not high-tech in it. Films like Spike Jonze or Michel Gondry, or films like Beyond the Black Rainbow or Moon, for example. And I'd like to know whether you believe there's a sort of a connection at a sensitivity level between all of these directors, but for some reason you've decided to use a genre, albeit it's not only exclusive in the last 2 decades, but we're seeing that many of the films, most important films that the sci-fi genre has had in the last 20 years, following down those lines of not using high-tech but low-tech. What's your opinion on that? Or what's your take on that?
Thank you for this question. I believe that somehow all the conceptual stories for me are more powerful when you are creating something that resonates more to something that we have already lived in. The problem is that most of the conceptual stories, and a lot of TV series are also doing that, is that they are trying to create a world by creating something futuristic and distant. And in that case, I don't think that the audience can connect. And also, I cannot connect as an audience, first of all, as a cinephile. So I believe that, I know that we're calling them science fiction, but for me, it's all these movies that you mentioned and all these directors, I believe that they're doing allegories. And these are allegories about our life, about our society, and they're trying somehow to create a parallel world of the world that we're living right now, and also to create it in a more analog way, and something that feels more timeless maybe, and more to the recent past. And that's what we did here. I mean, I feel that this movie is maybe a movie that, the movie that made me to want to be a filmmaker was The Truman Show by Peter Weir, which is an amazing prophecy about our life by Andrew NIKOU. And I think that this movie also, it's a movie that maybe, that's why also we shot it on film, we tried to create it looks a little bit more old, that maybe we shot it in 90s or at the beginning of 2000s, we put it in a shoebox, and right now people discover it and they're just showing it to the audience, that it has that feeling, that it's something old and makes a comment about what we are living right now.
Thank you. Vale, una pregunta aquí.
Hi again. My question is, I would like to know how was working with Jeremy Allen White, Jesse Buckley, Riz Ahmed, because they are the new generation of celebrities, actors that are now in the industry, and I would like to know how is it to work with them.
It was really, really great. Because, first of all, they're all amazing actors, but mostly they're amazing humans. So they made my life much, much easier. And then the way that we worked, it was that Jessie always surprises me on whatever she's doing, and also on set on Fingernails. And she has this melancholic smile that I love also for the tone of the film. Riz is completely a chameleon. He's an actor that can go from drama to comedy very easily, but also we have never seen him before in something romantic. So I really wanted to see the chemistry between Riz and Jesse. And then Jeremy, he's the bear, but he's also he's the one-take actor completely. What he was doing on set from the first take was perfect. I haven't seen that before. So it was really, really easy. And the way that we also worked, it was that I was, except the rehearsals that we did, every day on set I was playing a music song before shooting every scene, that we were hearing the whole crew and cast all the time. And we were trying to create the mood and the tone of every scene. So I had the song for every scene in the film.
I'm going to link those last two questions with regards to the type of cinema. When we can remember when we see your film Fingernails and the relationship with the actors, I would like to know whether at any time you were thinking about that type of cinema to the actors, or any references to other films or something of the nature. Did you do that when you were shooting the film with the actors?
Not really. We discussed a lot about the tone in general of the film and how we will approach this tone, because I really wanted to make something that it is conceptual, but at the same time it's really humanistic and tender. And in order to approach this tone, for sure, we discussed about a few films. We discussed, as I mentioned, The Truman Show, or I really love Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, or one of my favorite movies of the last decade was Beginners by Mike Mills, which I think also it has the perfect tone between comedy and drama. And in general, I don't believe in, I'm not a big fan of genre films. I'm not a big fan of movies that they're doing only one thing. I believe that movies should do everything, because life is everything. Life is a mixture of comedic and dramatic elements and everything else. So I really love when movies can do that, and they're not taking themselves also so serious, even if they're talking about something serious. So that was the whole approach. But with the actors, we didn't discuss about more movies. We discussed about more how we'll create this tone.
No sé si hay alguna otra pregunta.
Not sure whether there are any further questions. Okay. In order to finish, I would like to ask a question, which is a bit egotistic because of my curiosity. I'd like to know, though you've talked about the idea of sci-fi as something of an allegory and not an immersion into the genre, it is true that Apples, as well as Fingernails, are films that are sit within the sci-fi genre, but I'd like to know, any literary references, for example, Fingernails reminded me in some things to Philippe Cadic, which is more linked to reality. So I'd like to know whether you have any literary references and you feel like talking about them or not.
Yes, in a way, the two novels that have inspired me a lot, and I don't know if it's because I was born in 1984, but definitely one is the Orwell one, 1984. And I also love Blindness by Saramago. And I loved how Saramago also created, and he created the whole world. Unfortunately, the movie wasn't good by Meirelles. I don't know if I can say that, but it wasn't good. And I loved how he creates a whole world, an allegory, as we call it, but at the same time, in a comedic way, using a lot of comedy in it. So, yes, these two novels are novels that have inspired me in general.
Thank you. No sé si hay alguna otra pregunta.
Thank you. I'm not too sure whether there are any further questions. Well, okay, if there are no further questions, we'll finish the press conference. Fingernails, I want to thank the director for being here at the press conference. I want to thank you for being here. And a big round of applause for CHRISTOS NIKOU. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching the film and for staying until now. Thank you.